Thanks once again for dropping by the channel. If you like the content, if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe, share the video if you felt it was useful, if you enjoyed it. Now let's get into this. So I'm doing an audio in this recording just because I want to get a few shots of London in, and I can put them in on a recording face to face, but I think it just interrupts the flow of the video. So Ajagba, okay, the Nigerian heavyweight, at least I believe he's Nigerian. It's being announced now that he will face Razvan Cojanu, and that's going to be on the undercard of Adam Kalnaki versus Robert Helenius. Okay, now that's not particularly a fight I'm looking forward to see, Kalnaki versus Helenius, but Ajagba, he is a fighter that I like watching. I've said before that his last performance against that is Igo, I think is how you pronounce it, Igo Calcides, was the guy he fought last. He stopped him in 5 rounds. And although Ajagba looked powerful in that fight, because he hurt his opponent several times, had him down multiple times, he looked vulnerable. He was put down in that fight. He was dropped down quite badly in the 3rd round. And that was when his opponent was, retreating on the back foot and was dazed himself. He walked right into a right hand, went down. Was not a good look for Ajagba. And, I said they need to be careful with him. So they're putting him in there against Cojanu. Now, Cojanu at this stage in his career, he's 17-6. He really is turning into one of these gatekeeper heavyweights. So would you even call him a gatekeeper now at this stage? Maybe more so a journeyman at this stage. We know he's fought for a world title. He fought Joseph Parker nearly 3 years ago. Now, Cojanu, if I just go by his record, he's only ever been stopped or he's gone the distance. But when I say he's only ever been stopped in 2 rounds. So all his knockout losses have happened in the 2nd round. Okay, he was knocked out cold by Donovan Dennis back in 2015. That was in the 2nd round. Went on to face Joseph Parker, lost to him on points. Fought Luis Ortiz then off the back of that. That was over a year later. Knocked out in the 2nd round. Fought Nathan Gorman then. Yes, he was negative in that fight. He boxed very defensively, very cautiously, but he wasn't as negative as people made it out to be. So he went the distance with Nathan Gorman. Daniel Dubois walked straight through him, absolutely manhandled the guy, and took care of him in 2 rounds. So you notice here, when he's in there against guys who can punch a bit, he tends to come apart fairly quick. Alright, he tends to come apart fairly quick. Donovan Dennis, not the greatest heavyweight you'll ever see, but he can punch a bit. And, obviously Luis Ortiz, we know he's not feather-fisted. Daniel Dubois, definitely not feather-fisted. So I would imagine Ajagba should be able to get rid of this guy fairly easily. It really does depend on how much resistance Cojanu gives, because although in the Gorman fight he did look to survive in that fight, he wasn't as negative as people made him out to be. Like, some people made it out that all he did was just move on the back foot and, do nothing. No, he was negative, but he wasn't that bad. He wasn't like what's the guy's name? The guy who fought Chisora. He fought Tom Schwartz, Senad Gashi. He wasn't like him. He wasn't as negative as that. So, it depends really what we're going to see. I would imagine if he comes to fight, Daniel, like he did against Daniel Dubois, he'll get iced fairly quickly. But, it's an interesting fight. It'd be interesting to see how gung-ho Ajagba will be, because knowing he was dropped in his last fight while he was, offloading on an opponent, it'd be interesting to see. I think Ajagba, he's an interesting watch, but I still think he's got a long way to go before we start talking about him as being one of, the threats to the top guys, or even, top 15 or anything like that. I think there's a long way for Ajagba to go. Definitely has power, but the chin is going to be a worry for Ajagba. It is. That's going to be a worry. So, let me know what you think down below. It's an interesting fight. It's a card filler at the end of the day. Kalnaki versus Helenius, it's not a particularly good fight. It's not really a competitive fight, I don't think. I think Helenius seen better days years ago. Like, I'm talking, Helenius had seen better days, probably 2014, 2015. We're now in 2020. So, card in general, it's a card filler, but yeah, the main event I'm not looking forward to. So let me know what you think down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe of course if you are new, and as always, I will talk to you after.